Overthinking is destroying your confidence. And without confidence, there's really not much you can accomplish. For example, have you ever thought about doing something? You got the plan together, you did all the research, you started buying all the things that you're going to need, all the equipment, and you don't do it because you're like, man, what if I fail? What are my friends going to think? What's my family going to think? Are people going to laugh at me? Are they going to laugh at me because I'm trying something different? And then you don't do it because you're all in your mind, right? But being in your mind doesn't help you accomplish great things. There's this saying by Les Brown. It says, the graveyard is the richest place on earth because here is that you'll find the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid. Too afraid to do something because you're thinking that I might fail. You're thinking about what anyone else thinks instead of just doing it. God gave us all dreams and visions for a reason because he needs you to accomplish it. So today, I'm going to help you get out of your mind and stop overthinking and actually take action. So I have 3 ways to help you get over that overthinking and help you move into action. So you're not going to the graveyard with your dreams. You're not going with those songs that you need to be singing, the podcast that we need to start, the inventions, the businesses. Our life is not going by without accomplishing these great things because you have great things in you. So before I even get into any of that, I do want to first introduce myself. My name is Jelan Abrams. This is the Unknown and Talented podcast. And you might not be known yet, but you're talented. And these talents are not going to be seen if you're overthinking. So overthinking, what is overthinking? Overthinking is dwelling on thoughts or analyzing a situation excessively, often to the point of being unproductive or causing distress. So overthinking is a form of fear. We're not going to take that action, but we're going to keep thinking about doing it. So we feel like we're productive. It's like, oh, I'm thinking about doing it. I'm doing research. I'm on YouTube, how to create a podcast. I'm looking at the cool cameras that I need to get, the microphone I need to get, how I need to structure my episodes. I'm taking all these notes. I'm doing this. You got a book full of notes. You don't want to start yet because you're like, man, I'm doing my research. I'm going to get there. I'm probably going to start it in 2026 because, I want to make sure I get this, that. I want to make sure everything is perfect. And then you never do it. 2026 comes, you don't do it. 2027 comes, you don't do it. Life happens. And now you're too busy to do those things that you wanted to do. If you talk to your parents, I'm pretty sure your parents had dreams of doing so much. And then they say, you know what? I had you and then I couldn't do it anymore because I was making sure I was taking care of you. Do you want that to be your same story? Your kids are growing up and said, Mom, Dad, what did you want to be when you grow up? I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a podcaster. I wanted to be an artist, but I had you and now I couldn't do it because you were delaying what you needed to do because you were overthinking instead of actually taking action and doing something. So the funny thing about overthinking is that it's all in our mind to the point where a child can learn how to swim faster than an adult can learn how to swim. Why? It's because of fear. A child wasn't taught that people drown in the water. There's sharks and all these different things in the water. They weren't taught that. They're just living their life. They're trying to jump in the water, not even knowing it's anything to be afraid of. A child will touch a stove when it's hot, not knowing they could be burnt. So they're not overthinking. They're just doing things. It might not always be the smartest thing, but they're just doing it. They're just taking action. That's why kids' imaginations are so big because they believe anything is possible. But then when we become an adult, we're like, oh man, this ain't possible. This ain't gonna happen. I can fail. I can do this. I can do that. And you never do anything. But the funny thing about swimming, 60% of our bodies are made of water. So if we jump in the water, naturally we float. So we have a better chance of floating in the water than drowning in the water. And so many people are afraid to swim. That's what our body naturally does. It floats. Some people do end up drowning, but naturally we float. Naturally, the sun is going to come up in the morning time. Naturally, the sun's going to go down at nighttime. Naturally, if you turn the switch on, the light's going to come on. Naturally, the flowers are going to bloom in the spring. These things naturally happen, and then we're afraid of the worst case scenario that, oh, the sun might not come up today. Oh, the flowers might not bloom in the spring. These things are rare, but we have put in our mind that the worst case scenarios are how we're going to live out in life. The worst case scenario is thinking that 50% of businesses fail in the first year. Man, I don't want to be on the wrong side of that. 50% of marriages end in divorce. Oh man, I don't want to get married because I don't want to get divorced. Y'all never think about the good side of everything, that 50% of marriages do make it. 50% of the businesses do make it out of the first year. And that stops you from doing it. And the thing about overthinking or even thinking about failure is that failure is good because failure is you learn from your mistakes. If you jump in that water and you frailing and you about to drown, somebody has to save you, try it again. I'm pretty sure you're going to have a better chance of floating or a better chance of swimming the second time you do it. So now I want to get into the 3 ways to get out of your mind and stop overthinking. The first way to get over overthinking is to actually take action. So instead of thinking about what the result of your action is going to be, just think about the action. So you want to start a podcast, start a podcast. No matter if it gets 100 plays, 1 play, no plays, you did the action. You want to start a business, 50% of them fail. If you're in that 50% of them fail, you took action, you did it. We have to get more in the habit of not being afraid of the worst case scenario because you'll be surprising yourself that you're actually better than you thought. This is actually my second podcast. I had a podcast with my friends. It failed. I learned so much from that podcast. For this podcast, I'm way better of a podcaster. I learned how to use my camera. I learned how to use my mic. I learned how to make sure the lighting looked good. So right now I have 1,395 subscribers on YouTube because of failing first and having to do it again. And I'm up to episode 105, I believe, 105, 106. So I'll learn from making a decision to just go. And now I'm so much better because of it. Like that first episode, we were legit, me and my friend Justin, we were legit sitting on the floor with our phones just recording. And I had my camera set up. And it wasn't perfect. It wasn't great. I'm not sure how many people heard it, but we made a decision that we was going to start a podcast and we did it. And because of that, you're listening to this because I made a decision to start. How many people can you help by making that decision to start? There are people out there that need you to make that decision to start. And you're overthinking that you might not be good enough. You don't have to be good enough. The only thing you have to do is be a little better than the people that you're trying to help. I don't have to be a great podcaster. I don't have to be a great interviewer. I don't have to be the next Oprah or nothing like that. I just have to be good enough to help out the people that's right behind me. And that's the same thing for you. You don't have to be great. Your business doesn't have to be $1 million, million plus business. It's just a business that you're able to help give someone a job that needs a job. Your service is going to help that person that needs your service. But if you're just in your head, this is where your dreams are going to be. These are where your goals and aspirations, all the money that you want is going to be stuck in your head because you didn't actually do it. So the first step, like I said, take that action. Don't worry about the results. The second thing you want to do is get an accountability partner. That accountability partner is going to make sure you're doing what you said you're going to do. Because it's easy to say, okay, I want to write a book and I'm going to write a book tomorrow. And then you could kind of procrastinate on it. You're probably still going to make the decision, but you're procrastinating on when you make that decision. That person that you're sharing your goals with, which is you need to have a community of people that you're able to share your goals and aspirations. You want them to be able to hold you accountable. So you're saying that I want to write a book in December 2025. However long it takes you to do it, because that's going to take some time writing it out, again, illustrate and all that. But December comes and you decide not to do it, that person's going to help you achieve it because they're like, okay, what you said you're going to do? You got to do it. And be that same thing for that person as well, is because now you're building with someone that y'all are both accomplishing things. Not only are you making the decisions, you're not overthinking, they're not doing it. And now y'all accomplishing more together. So instead of both of y'all not accomplishing anything, each of you are accomplishing anything, right? And it doesn't matter, like I said, if you're failing or not, is the main thing is that you're doing it. You're doing it, you're learning it, you're having someone hold you accountable, because when more people are behind a thing, it more likely is going to happen because you have that support. And don't be afraid to share those dreams, because without sharing it, you're not going to be moving in that identity. The more you tell that person, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to be an author, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Now you start believing, you start moving as the identity. Your book is going to get better by sharing it and having that confidence, because that's how you're going to build your confidence, is by speaking it. When I started a podcast, I didn't say, oh, I'm not going to tell nobody I'm starting a podcast. I told people I'm going to start a podcast. This podcast is going to be big. One of these days, I'm going to be in front of thousands of people doing the same thing, sitting on the couch, motivating them. And I'm saying it now because I'm sharing it, because I have that confidence that it's going to actually happen. I don't mind sharing. Y'all can come back. This is episode 106, 105, whatever it is. Y'all write it down. So in a year's time, you're like, Jelan, did you do it? Yes, I did what I said I was going to do. It might not start off with thousands of people. It might start off with 10, might start off with 15, but I'm sharing it. I have an accountability partner in my wife. I'm her accountability partner. Find that accountability partner so that now when you're actually doing things, you're doing what you said you're going to do. You're not just saying, oh, nope, oh, I'm busy, I'm just, no, you're actually doing what you said you're going to do, because somebody's going to be pushing you to do it. So the third and last thing in this cycle of making that decision and stop overthinking is, once you made the decision, now this is your time when you analyze that decision. Because after that first decision, there's another decision to make. After you started that business, if it did really good, if it did really bad, what is the next step that you're going to take? And you have to be able to study what you did right, what you did wrong, to make that next decision. Because you started a business, now you got to hire workers. What kind of workers are you going to be hiring? You know, you wrote that book. Was it a good book? Was it a bad book? You have a decision after that. It's always going to be another decision. So that's why it's so important to make that first decision, because once you make that first decision, now you can do something even greater. Once I decided to make a podcast with my friends, it failed. What was the next decision I had to make? Okay, I'm going to do it myself. And this one is better than the last one, because I learned from my failures of that situation. But I couldn't even be able to get to this stage without making that first decision. So that's going to be my task for you, is to think about something that you've been, no, actually, I don't want you to think about it. I want you to do something. Do something that you've been thinking about constantly. I want to do a podcast. I want to write a book. I want to write a song. I want to go back to school. I want to apply for this job. This person, this woman at the gym, she looks really good. I want to approach her. All these things that you've been thinking about, make the decision. So I was recording this episode, I'm thinking about this movie called Hitch. If you haven't seen it, it's Will Smith, Kevin James, and Will Smith is the dating coach, Hitch. So he's coaching up Kevin James pretty much so he can get a date. He's trying to help him get this woman of his dreams. And I just remember it was like a dancing scene where him and Will Smith are dancing, and he's like, oh, don't do that. Please don't do that. I want you to dance this way, or be, kind of strict on telling him really what to do, trying to keep him in this box. And the more the movie went on, he's being more himself. He's dancing crazy, and the woman actually likes him for him. So when we're thinking about overthinking, is that we think that we have to be something that we're not to accomplish the things that we want. All we have to do is be ourselves. As I'm recording this podcast, I'm not trying to be no one else. Eric Thomas, great speaker. I love his podcast. I'm not trying to be Eric Thomas. I'm not out here yelling at y'all and stuff like that. That's not who I am. And thinking about yourself, whatever things you want to accomplish, you can just be yourself. My wife, she has a podcast. Everyone loves her sweet, quiet voice. I'm telling her, hey, be a little more aggressive on it. But they love that because she's just being herself. And that's the same thing with you. Whatever you want to accomplish, just be yourself. There's no reason to overthink. When you walk out in this world, you don't have to think. You're being yourself, and you're gonna get that community of people or those things that you want by being yourself. That's how you're able to get it smoother instead of trying to be something you're not. So hopefully this episode was able to help you and move out of that mindset of overthinking. It's like just make the decision. You got is it left or right? One of them is going to be the good decision. One decision is going to be the bad decision. Just make it. All right. So again, my name is Jelan Abrams. If this helped you out, leave a comment, like it, share it, subscribe, all that stuff. But my name is Jelan Abrams, is unknown and talented, and we are out of here.